my soul. I'm diving in, get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment here, to a new beginning here, and I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul.
As we ready ourselves together this morning, please turn with me from the world of busyness and simply be. I relax and I release anything competing for my attention. The life force which pulses through all things is breathing me now. Feel into that with me, if you will. The winds of life blow north and south and east and west, and sometimes all at once. These winds bring great gifts. They also bring sorrow and devastation. In the quiet moments, I open to my work, to carve what I have been given, what remains before me, into works of art, into acts of love. I am fed, body and soul, in the stillness. I am the gift of vision, clarity, and divine purpose. I pause and way opens around me. In the peace of this moment, I strengthen my intention and my capacities to be love in our world. Each of us is born a blessing. Tending my gifts and partnering with others, I offer these gifts back to the world in fuller form. I am free to imagine the highest and the best for any and all circumstances, and I open myself to joy. We are each powerful agents of love, peace, and understanding. And this morning we celebrate the many opportunities to give from what we have received. And so it is.
Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go. my soul. I'm diving in, get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of love. Get ready, my soul.
I'm not old, she said. I'm rare. I am the standing ovation at the end of the play. I am the retrospective of my life as art. I am the hours connected like dots into good sense. I am the fullness of existing. You think I'm waiting to die, but I am waiting to be found. I am a treasure. I am a map. And these wrinkles are imprints of my journey. Ask me anything. Ask me anything. Ask me anything.
I am a child of the living God, made in the image of perfect love. All that I am, all I've been given to you, my God, I surrender. I surrender. I am a child of the living God, made in the image of perfect love. All that I am, all I've been given to you, my God, I surrender. I surrender.
Good morning. Today is Grandparents' Day, so happy Grandparents' Day. Yay! So we have a special hospitality out there. We're also, tomorrow is National Teddy Bear Day, and I thought it kind of goes with Grandparents' Day as well. But it's really, really cool. The idea behind it is that every child should get to grow up with a teddy bear. And because of that, and it's a national holiday. I didn't know until like 2 days ago. So Build-A-Bear and Walmart are working together. And for every picture that's posted on social media with the hashtag National Teddy Bear Day, they will donate a teddy bear to a child in need. So we have a photo booth out there that some of you have already experienced. And one of our youth will take your picture, and we will happily post it for you with the hashtag. So I'm super excited about that. And if you know of anybody that loves teddy bears or needs one, today also, if you go today and tomorrow, if you go to Walmart or Build-A-Bear, you can get a collector bear for $6.50, and they will also hashtag the right thing so that kids get teddy bears. So yeah, and then I just have one other really quick announcement. I'll be announcing this for a little while, but save the date because Youth and Family is going to do an open house carnival on Sunday, October 13th, and we are going to have bouncy houses and games and scavenger hunts. Tell your friends, bring your kids, bring everybody. It's going to be super fun. So I'll have flyers out there for you. Okay.
Thank you for being our family. Thank you for being our friend. Thank you for blessing and teaching us. God bless you. Amen. All that I am, all I've been given To you, my God, I surrender.
Thank you, Stacy, and your whole crew. How fun that you made an opportunity available to us, and it's so easy. I don't even have to do the social media part. They're going to do it for us. Oh, that's great. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Unity in Lynnwood on this fine September morn. It's always a pleasure to be with you. We come here on Sunday mornings for many reasons. We come to make friends, to see old friends, to make new ones, to enjoy fine music, and we will do that today in spades. We have already done some. To be inspired, to be uplifted. Whatever your reason for arriving, I'm so glad that you are spending Sunday morning with us. We welcome all people here without exceptions. It's part of our mission that we reach far beyond tolerance or acceptance of differences to a true appreciation through our differences like beliefs, backgrounds, identities, interests, orientations, personalities. We learn together, and because of our differences, we expand one another. We build stronger, bigger bridges of compassion and understanding. Unity is an optimistic philosophy. I personally like that about unity. In a world that offers both great joy and great sorrow, I appreciate the encouragement I find here to notice what is right in our world. In last week's Daily Word, I read, "A pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity. An optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty." It went on to remind us that every day we get to choose between the two. And because we're building community here, we know that we can turn to a friend and get their help on a day it's hard to see opportunity. I think it was the same day that I read in something that came into my email box that optimistic people live as much as 15% longer than pessimists. I thought that was a really interesting tidbit. And there is more good news. While not all of us were born, and I do know that we're born with a predisposition, we weren't all born optimists. We can learn it. And I think we help each other learn an optimistic point of view here together at Unity through the use of our Unity tools. Our Unity tools are meditation, affirmation, denials, and prayer. Connecting this back to optimism and pessimism, we could say that we use denial as a way to turn our energy away from the temptation to just lock on to pain and difficulty in situations, while at the same time we use affirmations and affirmative prayer to find and focus upon the opportunity in whatever the difficulty might be. Our Unity founders, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, taught that our thoughts are powerful and they are creative. Charles Fillmore quoted Emerson when he said, "Great hearts send forth steadily the secret forces that incessantly draw great events, and wherever the mind goes, nature will accompany him, no matter what the path." This suggests that where our thoughts go, there go the creative forces of nature too. Doesn't this also encourage us to find our opportunities right in the midst of our difficulties as best we can? We have a group, we're very blessed. We have a group of professional prayers at Unity in Lynnwood. We call them our prayer chaplains. They have specific training so that they can help us guide our thinking in constructive ways right in the midst of our circumstances. Our prayer chaplains are honored every Sunday to meet with individuals following service. So if you would like to meet individually, just stay after service and come on up to the front on either side. You'll find a prayer chaplain there, and they would be honored to meet with you in a time of individual prayer. They also respond during the week to the prayer requests that we leave for them in many ways. You might have seen the prayer request right in the back of the chair in front of you. We can write prayers there, slip them in the offering basket. We can send a phone request prayer to our confidential prayer line. You'll find that number in the bulletin. That looks like this. We have our Unity in Lynnwood.org website where we can follow prayer links, leaving our prayer requests there. And if you have a Unity app on a smartphone, 3 clicks will get you to the place you can leave a prayer any time of day, any day of the week. I want to thank you, prayer chaplains, for your gifts of dedicated service. We love you and appreciate you. Would our prayer chaplains that are here stand so we can recognize you, please? Thank you. Each week we share a denial and an affirmation together to set our minds on a good course for the week. Let me read today's denial and affirmation, and then I'll invite you to stand if that works for you, and we'll say it together. I am the marble not fully carved. Contained within me exists every possibility the divine artist might conceive. Please stand, and we'll say this together. Ready? I am the marble not fully carved. Contained within me exists every possibility the divine artist might conceive. And while we're on our feet, let's take a minute to say hello to one another.
Get up on your feet, see the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet, see the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Everybody, get up on your feet, see the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet, see the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. So you are in for a treat this morning. But first, I would like to thank Farco on bass today for joining us. He's awesome. So that's treat number 1. Treat number 2, our very own Ellin Snow is making her Unity in Lynnwood debut today. Though she has been singing all of her life, both professionally and voluntarily, Ellin also has quite a background in community musical theater and currently directs both a chorus and a reader's theater troupe in her senior residence. Will you please welcome Miss Ellin Snow?
This is really exciting. I never got, well, this is the second time this morning that I got to see the room from this perspective. Terrific. Glad to see all of you here. Yes, this is Grandparents' Day, and we are celebrating the kinds of things that grandparents have done and can do for their grandchildren. And in my mind, one of the finest things we can do is to share by our behavior and our example what our values are, what our perspective in life is. And coincidentally, because we really didn't plan this, I am going to be singing about something that is a passion of mine that I hope I have passed along to my grandchildren, and that is optimism. When the sky is a bright canary yellow, I forget every cloud I've ever seen. So they call me a cockeyed optimist, immature and incurably green. I have heard people rant and rave and bellow that we're done and we might as well be dead. But I'm only a cockeyed optimist, and I can't get it into my head. I hear the human race is falling on its face and hasn't very far to go. But every whippoorwill is selling me a bill and telling me it just ain't so. I could say life is just a bowl of jello and appear more intelligent and smart, but I'm stuck like a dope with a thing called hope, and I can't get it out of my heart. Not this heart. I hear the human race is falling on its face and hasn't very far to go. But every whippoorwill is selling me a bill and telling me it just ain't so. I could say life is just a bowl of jello and appear more intelligent and smart, but I'm stuck like a dope with a thing called hope, and I can't get it out of my heart. Not this heart.
Arr! Ahoy, mateys. You remember last week me captain wasn't here. She was marooned on a peninsula. But she's back, and look, here she comes. She has treasure. And treasure is just what ye will discover at this year's benefit auction and gala on October 26th. For starters, there's this lovely pirate chest filled with stolen booty for your gluttonous pleasure. Other temptations include events with food and music, travel, group wine tastings to tempt ye with just a few items that you can sword fight for.
First matey, you mean bid for, not sword fight for.
Arr! That's what I said.
This year's auction is made possible by our generous sponsors, Howard and Judy Shermack and Mill Creek Family Services. And I found this proclamation in With the Treasure. If we believe in the value of unity as a teaching, and in the value of unity in Lynnwood as a community, we have an ethical charge to remove any and all obstacles to its availability, meaning we cannot keep it to ourselves. Our blue UIL shuttle, while having served over 1,200 people over the past year's events, no longer supports this ethical charge. As we grow, its size limits and numbers of riders we need to shuttle, and it's too cumbersome for those with mobility restrictions. Given this, your Board of Trustees has dedicated this year's Fund a Need to a purchase of a quality used 15-passenger side-step shuttle with a wheelchair lift in support of our unwavering commitment to remaining a community of intentional welcome.
Oh boy, you see typos when you get up here. You can registration now. No. It was late. You can register now either in the back of the sanctuary after service or online in the privacy of your own pirate ship.
And there's still room to volunteer. We've had quite a few mateys, people, sign up last week. Thank you so very much. But we could use a few more hooks or hands on deck.
You won't want to miss the fun this year, so grab your pirate hats, hooks and parrots, and join us on the high seas on October 26th to indulge in some treasure, rub shoulders with real roving pirates, and enjoy excellent food catered by the catering company, and of course, delight in the amazing music of Jerome Johnson. And I want to hear a good "arr" from all of you. Arr. Yes.
And thank you, Reverend Nina Clark and Karen Breen James, for co-chairing this important event. What an amazing gift you give. Small group ministry. Rather than request that you memorize this morning, we've created a handy-dandy postcard. Please visit the Welcome and Information Station on your way out. You, quite simply, are welcome into any and all for the admission price of showing up. This is your final chance to register for our 2019 men's retreat. It's entitled Sacred Brothers Working Miracles. I mean, I want to go just because, just for the title. My colleague, my dear friend Bob Trask facilitates. And if you have questions about this, 3 days in Camp Houston for $149. You cannot buy snacks at home for $149. If you have questions about this weekend, you are welcome and invited to see any of the following men who will raise their hands and wave enthusiastically. There we go. Thank you. Tim Vokes will answer all of your questions about the men's retreat, about life, about the meaning of it all. I love being with you. I love being with you. Basking in your noble presence. Every year, Unity communities across the globe pray together in an event called Unity's World Day of Prayer. Here to issue a personal invitation is our Director of Prayer Ministries. Her name is Barbara Thorpe. Would you welcome her, please?
Good morning, Unity in Lynnwood. It's good to be back. What if you had an opportunity to make our world a better place? Would you take it? Would you take that opportunity? Then chaplains invite you to World Day of Prayer, a day where Unity communities all over the world hold times of prayer, meditation, and affirmation to elevate the consciousness of our planet. A unifying force for good. Join us this Thursday, September 12th. The sanctuary will be open for prayer and meditation from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. A community dinner will be served at 5:45 p.m. and end at 6:45. At 7 p.m., a service with peace statements from all the major religions, special guests, Rabbi Ted, Jamal, Reverend Nina, and Bishop Kathy Chalmers will be giving a blessing for our world or a short sharing about peace from their tradition. We'll be blessed with music by Don Macon and Steve Mason. So join us this Thursday. we can make a difference in the world. Sign up at the Welcome and Information Station. Celebrate the vast possibilities for peace in your life and in the world.
If you are new, if you are newer, I request your understanding, and I request your patience this morning as we do what we as a community have agreed to do. For as intentional spiritual community, we've tacitly agreed to cheer each other loudly in our moments of beginning, and we've tacitly agreed to hold each other gently in our moments of ending. And this is one such moment. For one of our beloved matriarchs, Judy Munn, passed beyond our sight last Tuesday. So let's take a deep breath together and let's close those outer eyes. Inasmuch as we have been privileged to share a portion of our paths with Judy, let's be reminded that we're privileged to share a path with the individual who sits to our right, with the individual who sits to our left. Inasmuch as we have been privileged to share a portion of our paths with Judy, let's be reminded that we are privileged to share a path with the individual who sits before us, with the individual who sits behind us. Inasmuch as we have been privileged to share a portion of our paths with Judy, let's be reminded that we are privileged to share a path with those in this room, with our families, with our families of choice, even with others yet to come. For while we've tacitly agreed to cheer each other loudly in our moments of beginning, and while we've tacitly agreed to hold each other gently in our moments of ending, let's be reminded that we've tacitly agreed to love each other deeply in every moment between.
Let me run through a field in the night. Let me lift from the ground till my soul is in flight. Let me sway like the shade of a tree. Let me swirl like a cloud in a storm on the sea. Wish me on my way through the dawning day. Wanna flow, wanna rise, wanna spill, wanna grow in a grove on the side of a hill. I don't care if the train runs late, if the checks don't clear, if the house blows down. I'll be off where the weeds run wild, where the seeds fall far from this earthbound town. And I'll start to soar. Watch me rain till I pour. I'll catch a ship that'll sail me astray. Get caught in a wind, I'll just have to obey till I'm flying away.
wanna wake without wondering why, finding myself in a burst for the sky. I'll just roll, let me lose all control. I wanna float like a wish in a well, free as the sound of the sea in a shell. I don't know, but maybe I'm just a fool. I should keep to the ground, I should stay where I'm at. Maybe everyone has hunger like this, and the hunger will pass, but I can't think like that. All I know is somewhere through a clearing, there's a flickering of sunlight on a river long and wide. And I have such a river inside. Let me run through a field in the night. Let me lift from the ground till my soul is in flight. Let me sway like the shade of a tree. Let me swirl like a cloud in a storm on the sea. Wish me on my way through the dawning day. I wanna flow, wanna rise, wanna speak, wanna grow on the side of a hill. Wanna shift like a wave rolling on, wanna drift from the path I've been traveling upon before I am gone.
It's from her letters on health and healing that I quote, we wave aside past mistakes. Does that feel good to anyone else this morning? We wave aside past mistakes. And I love this quote because I believe that our New Thought churches are not immune to some portion of the same guilt and shame of the organizations from which so many of us fled. It's just that we have replaced the guilt of disobedience with the guilt of lack. We have replaced the shame of inadequacy with the shame of disease. We have so misdirected our beautiful teachings that at those junctures in life at which people need the support of spiritual community the most, they leave. When her finances hit bottom, the guilt becomes unbearable. When his body hits bottom, the shame becomes unbearable. And they lock themselves away, symbolically, if not literally, self-flagellating with classic questions such as, what was it in my consciousness that created that? And in such moments, it appears that all we've managed to do is displace the judgmental and punitive man in the sky with his counterpart in our own human hearts, thinly cloaked in a veil of metaphysical jargon. I love this quote because I fear neither shame nor guilt in these words. As she continues, we wave aside past mistakes and fix undivided attention upon the Creator and the inner pattern of perfection. In this lies the success of spiritual treatment. She expanded upon this idea, and I quote, when someone comes to us who has a diagnosis, we ask him or her to cast out the assumption that the condition could not be changed or done away with. So regardless of what circumstances might be facing you today, Unity co-founder Myrtle Fillmore seems to imply that your solution is not so much contingent upon your willingness to look to the vague speculations of a distant past as it is upon your willingness to look to the grand possibilities of a limitless future. Regardless of what circumstances you might be facing today, Myrtle Fillmore grants you permission to wave aside past mistakes and to begin again. Whew. Almost feels good just to do it. Would you like to try it? Whew. She described the ideal approach as threefold. Spiritual, described as keeping a person assured of his or her God-given freedom. She described it as mental, described as giving him or her the intelligence that enables one to do that which promotes health and success. And of course, physical, described as forming those habits which keep us making the right use of our faculties, our powers, the life, energy, and substance of which we are a part. And yet we've all known someone for whom life seems to be an exclusively spiritual exercise. Affirmations cover his refrigerator, and his bathroom mirror, and his dashboard. The vision board is thumbtacked to the ceiling of his bedroom and covered with pictures of millionaires and muscles and mantras. We've all known someone who prays for health but remains unwilling to address his addiction. We've all known someone who prays for reconciliation but remains unwilling to acknowledge his own dysfunction, who prays for relationship but remains unwilling to leave the house, who prays for supply but remains unwilling to apply for a job. I happen to know several people who pray for a fuller experience of life, who pray for a fuller experience of this grand adventure we call a human incarnation, but remain unwilling to loose the comforts of the mediocrity in which they are enmeshed. We've all known someone for whom life is an exclusively spiritual exercise, but Myrtle says, friends, it's not enough. And it's not enough because this someone finds himself telling God, wisdom, the universe, that he values one thing, but showing God, wisdom, the universe, that he values another. She tells God that she values a slim profile at nighttime, but she shows God that she values a sausage pizza at lunchtime. It's not enough because this tension reduces spirituality to a Hail Mary, please pardon the pun, a cosmic get-out-of-jail-free card, necessarily played to counter a life devoid of any consideration for the mental or the physical. It's not enough because this tension reduces spiritual practice to little more than spells and sorcery and magic. And we've all known someone for whom life is an exclusively mental exercise. This person attends every class. They arrive early. The assignment is complete and in hand. Spiral bound. Sometimes this individual opens class by requesting extra credit, you see. They often sit on the front row. We've all known some for whom life seems to be an exclusively mental exercise, but Myrtle says, friends, it's not enough. It's not enough because today's world is filled with individuals who can dazzle the crowds at cocktail parties with a probing awareness, a sophisticated insight into their own woundedness, into their own psychoses, into their own dysfunctions. Today's armchair psychologists are amazingly well informed. But it's not enough because the world is filled with people who understand much, but for whom that understanding alone fails to translate into more meaningful living. We've all known someone for whom life is an exclusively physical exercise, and oh, how we glorify the doers. We've all known someone for whom life is an ongoing checklist of accomplishments. More degrees, more titles, more sales, more awards, more dollars, more relationships, more YouTube viewers, more Facebook followers. We've all known someone for whom life has become the compulsive pursuit of something without, for whom life has become little more than the frenetic navigation of an earthly maze, driven by nothing more than the pursuit of some cosmic piece of cheese. We've all known some for whom life is an exclusively physical exercise, but Myrtle says, friends, it's not enough. And it's not enough because such a human life is reduced to little more than that of Pavlov's dog. The bell rings and we salivate. Stimulus, response. It's not enough because such a life is subject to the insatiable appetites of an automatic pilot who, quite frankly, cannot be trusted with your incarnation. She summarizes it this way, and I quote, she says, our work is to unify the three. It's to unify the three. So regardless of what circumstances you might be facing today, Myrtle encourages, she says, daily declare that your spiritual world, declare it every day, your mental world and your physical world are unified. Thank you. Good job, everybody. I'm skipping around today. I don't know. It's the first time I've ever been creative. I could say it a different way. I could say, daily declare that your beliefs, your thoughts, and your actions are unified. Or for those who are familiar with Unity's 12 powers, I might say, daily declare that your imagination, your faith, and your zeal are unified. Or that your understanding, your order, and your will are unified. Myrtle concludes, one who strikes this balance in threefold being. You are a threefold being, you understand. Is truly blessed. Free, joyous, healthy, prosperous. The past does not worry, the future does not entice. This one knows that a full measure of good is his, is hers, here and now. He profits from the past and glories in the future. Unity in Lynnwood has a health and wellness ministry. And I think in many ways they exemplify this idea of unifying the spiritual, the mental, and the physical. They have championed an initiative in which your hospitality offering has become largely vegetarian, but always humanely sourced, and is on an organic trajectory. And they have a vision that they would like to share with you this morning, and an invitation to conversation that they would like to extend. I, for one, would like to hear what they have to say. Their names are Linda Babin and Nancy Joy Callihan. Will you welcome them this morning, please?
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Richard. Well, good morning.
Some more.
So we are here, we have different hats now, as UIL Health and Wellness co-chairs, and to invite you to join us for the showing of the documentary, Secret Ingredients, that lets us know about the hidden toxins in our food and in our soil. And I warn you, Lynn and I are very passionate about this topic, so we really had to preen down what we're going to say, and we thought we might get the hook if we don't. So please come and take a mountaintop view with us. We are broadening the focus of the health and wellness in this offering from individual health tools, though those will be included as well, to something for all people as well as the health of our planet.
I'm going to tell you just a little bit about us in this different role. We're both educators. Nancy Joy, a Montessori teacher. I'm a retired elementary school psychologist. We've worked on understanding the connection between food and health individually and together for 7 or 8 years now. And it's led us into the study of genetically modified organisms, or GMOs, what organic means, why that movement has sprung up. I know we've all heard we have a health crisis in our nation, and you can look at that from a whole variety of different angles. You'll learn more about that from the documentary. I'm curious if you've heard that half of our children in our nation at this point are suffering some sort of a chronic condition. Could be physical, mental, emotional. I saw this clearly before my eyes in the last 15 years of my work in public education, and it was alarming to us, and we didn't have answers, and we scratched our heads a lot. Among adults, many diseases are rising at alarming rates. I don't know if you've seen graphs or charts that just sort of bring it home. The movie shares some. Things like diabetes, cancer, autoimmune diseases, anxiety, depression, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, obesity. Countless experts report there's a connection between the food we eat and the rising incidence of disease. We don't and we won't hear about this on the news. Watching Secret Ingredients helps us better understand what's happening. It will help us make some protective choices.
So the need to address this current health situation is relevant to the principles and the practices of the Unity movement, as Dr. Richard so well delineated. Unity was founded on the demonstration that we can use our innate spiritual gifts to heal our bodies. So the question is now we are asking, what results can we expect when we pray, visualize, meditate, and affirm while we are ingesting foods with toxins? Research by many independent scientists and health experts show that much of our food carries toxins. So then the question is, do we want to know about this? Is it important that we know about some solutions to this?
I've found myself in recent years asking myself, what's different about the times we lived in versus the times that Charles and Myrtle lived in? They lived in the mid-1800s to mid-1900s, roughly. They ate out of their garden, the Unity Farm, a garden. Food was local. At this point in time in our culture, especially over the course of the last few decades, there's been such a dramatic shift. Our food is now basically large chemical farming. About 90% of our agriculture is done that way. The documentary links the rise in chemical farming to the decline in the physical and mental health of people. We've learned that chemical farming is destroying the health of our soils. I was encouraged to hear there's a movement called regenerative agriculture that's being born. It gives us reasons for hope, for sure. And this links our conversation with health care. Regenerative agriculture restores the health of our soils, the nutrition of food, even addresses climate change directly.
So have you heard about the important topic of microbiomes?
Ooh, yeah.
You know, those beneficial organisms that live in our guts and also in our soil. It is a fairly recent scientific discovery Did you know that research shows that 80% of our immune system resides in our gut? I see some nods. Did you know that 70 to 80% of our serotonin, that's that feel-good brain chemical, is produced where? In the gut. So here's the link, without overdoing it. The chemicals sprayed on our foods and soil find their way into the lining of the guts, where they destroy the good bacteria. This interferes with our body's production of some of the essential elements for good, vibrant health.
So I hope we've created or sparked a little curiosity in some way. And I hope you might be asking yourself, could this have any relevance for me or for someone I love? As a psychologist, I can't think about complex social issues without thinking about barriers. If you're into problem solving, you know that barriers always pop up. I think often our barriers, our biggest barriers, lie inside of us. And I'm wondering if some of you have noticed change as uncomfortable. We tend not to want to look at problems that are bigger than we are. I think we feel helpless and hopeless and sometimes powerless. Have you ever noticed it's so easy to cling to habits, something we know we probably shouldn't do, but it's just comfortable and it takes too much energy. This is so normal. It's the way human beings operate. And I mention it because I watched myself do this for years on this subject. I have a dear friend, had a bout with cancer, became very focused on nutrition. I was working at the time and I said, I'm too busy. I'm too busy. Crisis, like she had, will draw us in. So will curiosity. So we want to appeal to your curiosity. Can we allow ourselves to be uncomfortable long enough to think about some of these important things together? It does seem to me that looking at complex issues together is a way that we make community come alive. Truly, we need each other to deal with complex social issues. I couldn't have been walking this path without a buddy. It's discouraging some days. We can empower one another. We can learn from each other's stories, and we heard from some after talking to First Service. We can give each other the strength to look at what would otherwise be overwhelming. Let's be clear, too, as we're raising this, this is not a political issue. And sometimes we are tempted in complex social issues to start thinking politically. This is a humanitarian issue. It's really a matter of long-term survival.
This documentary addresses these issues on both a personal and a societal level. It offers us solutions which suggest simple things we can do. And it's not a one-time conversation. I mean, we layer it in. We've been at it for 7-8 years. We are asking you to help us to plan the programming for health and wellness for the next year. This will be a kickoff for that. It's fall. It's time to make school plans and learning plans. So those who come to see Secret Ingredients can help us with that program planning. So please, we welcome your curiosity, your questions, your points of view, your critical thinking. Bring your love for yourself, for your family, for your grandchildren, for others, for the community, for the planet. Your love for life. Bring it, and we will meet you. Come join us on Saturday, the last Saturday of September 28th, from 6:30 to 8:30. And by the way, we'll have healthy snacks. Please sign up so we'll know how many healthy snacks to have. Thank you.
That would be a big help. Okay, different hat. At this point in our service, we pause long enough to provide the opportunity for all of us to give back to our community something in the way of financial gifts. As you prepare your gifts and love offerings this morning, I will share words from Charles Fillmore on giving. Give, and it shall be given unto you, is the statement of a law that operates in every thought and act of man. And I'm pretty darn sure he meant women as well. We thank you for all gifts given, and we acknowledge our gratitude to our online community as well, who are with us today, for any donations made through our live stream and our website.
Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen.
Let me bless these gifts on behalf of all of us. Together, we bless these gifts. We bless the givers. We bless the receivers. May they expand the reach of our love into the world. And so it is. Thank you, ushers, for helping us as you do. We would like to acknowledge, as we do each week, anyone who might be here for the first time. We really get a little excited about people coming to see us for the first time. All we ask is a wave of a hand, and then we can say a more special welcome if you're here with us for the first time. Nice. Thank you for joining us, and I'll just help you get oriented a little. You may have noticed a new comer's information card in the back of the chair in front of you that will give you more information about Unity in Lynnwood and Unity in general. If you would like to get on our mailing list, or if any of the others of you need to update information, the Stay in Touch card there in the back of the chair is a great vehicle for doing that. I want the folks that are with us for the first time to feel free to grab a information packet. It looks like this. It has a DVD in it, and it's right to the left of the door as you exit the sanctuary. And I also want to invite newcomers to stop by our gift shop and ask for your own complimentary copy of Daily Word, please. And please also come and visit our Let's Connect table. Well, Lane Sharple, she was just being an usher, now is moving to the Let's Connect table under the window over in the Friendship Hall for folks that are here for the first time to help answer questions you might have. I want to invite everyone to come over to the Friendship Hall for refreshment and invitation, and just give out the reminder that on this second Sunday of the month, it's our youth and family ministries that provide our refreshments, both services, so they're very busy, and they often are so creative in what they come up with. And all donations will benefit that ministry and their programs. I have a few announcements. As always, for details and registration, please visit the Welcome and Information Station. And I want to do our flower dedication, but you'll have to listen carefully because we have a lot. by Dick to Donna DiFrancesco. They were here with us for service. Happy anniversary. By Nancy Joy to Phil. Blessings on your big birthday, Phil. And to Shelley Oberman, to the Treasures No Trash co-chairs, Nancy and Rosalie, who worked so hard. And last but not least, to the 2020 Men of Unity calendar models. Just wait until you see it. I wondered if we'd have a preview. No preview. Okay, you'll have to wait just a little longer. Please join us for Creative Cafe at 1 p.m. every Saturday during September. And connect and share and learn and activate your creative potential and listen to all these media. Wood, glass, pen, paper, canvas, yarn, rocks, and you just keep going from there. Bring your supplies and your creative mind. Gloria Pulliam will facilitate. Thank you, Gloria. Interfaith at Unity in Lynnwood presents Spiritual Saturdays with Rabbi Ted Falcon on Saturday, September 14th at 11 o'clock. Early registration for the High Holy Days is open as well, with musicians Stephen Merritt, Marcy Howard, Sherry Rosner, and Steve Mason. Please grab a postcard or register at the Welcome and Information Station or by visiting rabbitedfalcon.com. Please join Pam and Brian Gillum, another health and wellness offering on September 23rd at 7 p.m. for a time of drumming with the natural rhythms of nature and the seasons. Through this ancient form of expression, rebalance your energies of light and darkness at the time of the equinox. Experience the scientifically proven effects of an enhanced immune system, deepened community connection, and lifted mood with no adverse side effects whatsoever. No previous experience is necessary. Some drums and rattles will be provided. If you have some you can bring, that would be super. And please join Cheryl Jones on Saturday, September 28th for the fun of sprucing up our grounds. Please bring gloves and garden tools beginning at 9 a.m. Lunch will be provided. And for any of you who were at the Hands-On Housing or happened to watch the DVD of the Hands-On Housing, I just want you to tap in for one moment to the energy we put out for that lovely home. How about our house? Cheryl would really appreciate that. And finally, Julie Newman, our Board of Trustee member, come on up.
Hello. I'll be quick since I'm in between you and hospitality. So, my involvement on the board began a little differently than many of my fellow trustees. I was invited last summer to carry out the remainder of a term that I'm filling, and I have to say it has been a greater experience than I imagined it to be. But in full disclosure, when we were asked to speak about what our involvement has meant to us, I felt a lot of hesitation, mostly because opening that felt very vulnerable to me. And as I was sitting with what that meant, I realized that that is actually the benefit that I received from my service on being on the board. And you've heard a lot about the growth from other trustees, and so my experience is really no different. I've learned that leadership integrated with vulnerability has tremendous strength and expression. I've shifted my perspective about commitment. I've always been one of those people that thought you were committed based on the more that you did, your doing and your action measured your value and measured your willingness and your commitment. And I have learned that although there is room for that, it is not just that a no thank you from the heart is just as important and valuable and necessary as a yes from the heart. So in short, while there are affairs of business to be addressed by serving on the board, it's really not a great mystery. And it is one of the best spiritual practices and experience that I have had. We're people. We're people who love unity in Lynnwood, and we are willing to do our part to help her thrive, just like all of you. So, if serving as a trustee has ever crossed your mind only to be met with a yeah, but, I invite you to introduce your intellect into your heart to see what that has to say. And if you have any questions about what that might look like, I'll be in the back and available to you. So, thank you.
Thank you, Julie. I love that health and wellness plug, that the no from the heart is worth as much as the yes from the heart. Yeah, because we have to take care of ourselves, right? So, all good things happening at Unity in Lynnwood can be found on your printed program or by visiting our face page or on our app or on the calendar page of our website at unityinlynnwood.org.
Thank you. Thank you. They hooted for you, Julie. That's a first. I've never gotten a hoot. You know, my title is spiritual director. Do you know that's self-chosen? I chose that. And in truth, after some 6 years of reflection, I think there was something prophetic in it, because unlike a traditional model in which some middle-aged white guy gives you all the answers tucked into a neat box, I feel like I'm privileged to stand in the midst of brilliant people and just direct. Nancy Joy and Linda and Brian and Pam and Ellin and Matthew and Farco and Jennifer and it says I just stand in the middle and just direct divine wisdom expressing through this beautiful idea we share. I love what you're doing. Thank you for inviting us into a conversation. I think our teaching stands at an important threshold, and that is the threshold between me and we. I think we are at a point at which younger generations find themselves dissatisfied with an exclusive me-ness. They want to know, how does this beautiful teaching that says there is one isness and each of us is a part of it, so each of us is inherently equal, that there is a causative power to how we use our minds, that there is a divinity and an inherent value in life. They want to know, how can I take those ideas and make my world a better place? They say we. Give me the we. I have no idea where any of that came from, but I love you dearly. I'm deeply honored to be in your noble presence. We've been closing with a sung blessing of late. Today will be no different. If there's a first name of any soul you'd like to invite into this closing blessing, just feel free to speak it out loud. And so on behalf of those names issued forth, whether with the human tongue or the human heart, it matters not, and on behalf of all who have yet again turned anything of a spiritual awareness, anything of a spiritual ear to this conversation, to all we say welcome. Welcome to our knowingness. Welcome to our God orientation. Welcome to our remembering. You're welcome to remain seated. You're certainly welcome to stand. The words will appear on the screen. We'll close thusly.
May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within
So your charge, should you choose to accept it, is to learn 3 names before you exit this room. And to remember that we are in the in-between moments, and that we, my friends, have tacitly agreed to love each other really good. You okay with that? Let's close this time together then by simply saying, and so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Blessings, unity, and Lynnwood.